All right, guys, we're gonna have Sheree here be an example of a patient who's having some shoulder issues. So as you walk in, you check in, you sign in, maybe there's a couple patients that have had it ahead of you. In the wobble area, let's get that whole joint complex moving. So clavicle, humerus, scapula, all the muscles that hold it together, we wanna get it just warmed up, lubricated, moving. And so in the wobble chairs, really exacerbating the flexion and extension. Go ahead and do that first, Sheree. So really opening up the chest, get the shoulders back and down. So you're kind of focusing on this area, getting some motion in there. Once you've done several of those, then you're gonna start reaching. And so just gently reach. That reach may only go up to here. That's okay. Do the best that you can. You're gonna try to get that thing up. We're just getting that whole upper shoulder girdle complex moving. Awesome. So once you get called back, as always, come back to the table. And please remember to click on scan in, sign in, and your x-rays will pop up. And as usual, now that you're kind of warmed up, go ahead and go face down onto the paper. Awesome, and relax. And so as Dr. Butner myself comes up to you, as usual, we'll ask you, hey, anything new or different today? This would be a great time. Hey, my left shoulder, tweaked it over the weekend, kind of bugging me, stiff, achy, burning, whatever it might be. Awesome, got it. I will tell you almost always that'll be the last thing that we address, because the most important thing is making sure that brain is effectively and efficiently talking to the shoulder. So the adjustment's the most important. I'll adjust you. C5, 6, especially that lower part of the neck, are the nerves. It's axillary nerve that goes to the shoulder. We want to make sure that that's firing appropriately, that it's communicating effectively. So after the adjustment, go ahead and stand up for me, or sit up for me, Sheree. We may use the fun gun in the back along the trap of the shoulder, depending on where the issue is. But then certainly, I could do it on this side if you'd like. Certainly we'll have you kind of stand like Wonder Woman here. And we can adjust this. Very simple, easy, simple adjustment, very effective. If, let's say, the shoulder is still very, very stubborn, I'll have you look up at the ceiling and we'll just get some motion in that shoulder girdle. So humerus coming back, clavicles moving, scapula's moving. So now we got this whole thing moving better. Motion is lotion. As we get motion in there, the pain, the suffering is gonna decrease. After the adjustment, right, obviously grab your paper, tear it off, so that way we can clean it after you. And come on over here. So in the rehab, some of the most, there's gonna be a lacrosse ball up here. Some of the most effective rehab that we can do for that shoulder is just working it around. So it might be the backside of the armpit and through here. Maybe working the deltoid, kind of right underneath the clavicle or against the wall, or working it, kind of breaking it up. And you're gonna do this for 30 seconds to a minute, maybe 2 minutes. This is right after the adjustment, before we get on the vibe. After you work it with the lacrosse ball, put that back, and there's several different exercises that you could do here in the rehab. The first one would be kind of sitting on your bottom, your thumbs into extension, chest up, chin up. And so now again, with the vibration platform on, we're opening up the chest and the sternum. The shoulders are getting into extension, because so many times we just get this forward flexion. As we open it up, the shoulders go back to where they belong. That's gonna decrease the pain, the discomfort, and kind of open up those flexor muscles. Another option would be, go ahead and stand up for me, Sheree. This is kind of based on ability. So grabbing, this is an 8-pound ball, and just doing some exercises again, once again on the vibe while it's going, and just trying to bring it straight overhead. Now maybe it doesn't go all the way up. Maybe it's just in front of your face. 3 sets of 5, 3 sets of 10, again, depending on your ability, and you can ask one of us and we'll give you the right number. Trying to keep that chin up, the chest up, and kind of squeezing those scapula in the back, the best of your ability. Another great option for shoulders is start with the lighter band, this red band right here, and then on the vibe, elbows in, kind of like a T-Rex, chest up, chin up, so you're in great posture, everything's stable, the vibe platform's on, and you're opening these up. So this is activating the posterior muscles here in the back, and so it's bringing these scapula back together, and that's gonna open up the chest and take some tension off those shoulders as well. some great options for rehab for that shoulder that might have been bugging you. Maybe it's been a chronic issue, maybe it's an acute thing that just happened over the weekend. Let us know, but from before the adjustment, during the adjustment, and after the adjustment, some great things to help you get better faster. Hope this helps. Hey guys, Dr. Utash here. This is Therapeutic Thursday. I'm talking to the people here with shoulder issues, shoulder pain, lack of range of motion, tight traps, maybe a person that's been sniffing computers for, hours this week. This is a great exercise for you. So you're gonna get on your side, on the floor, in bed, arms straight up to the best of your ability, and you're gonna make little circles. You might wanna support the head with a pillow, but think of 10, 15, 20, even upwards of 30 circles. And then come back up, shake it out, rest for 30 seconds, and do it again 2 more times. This sideline shoulder circles is a great way to get some range of motion and get that shoulder and get all the supporting muscles actually moving. Try it this week. Hey guys, Dr. Utash here again, Wellness Key Chiropractic. We're in our nutrition series. We just got done talking about toxins. The FDA allows over 3,000 additives and chemicals in our food. The average American consumes about 150 pounds of those additives and chemicals every single year, many of which are not even labeled in the product themselves. Things like the stuff that they use on the pesticides on apples and those type of things. So that's why organic is the best way to go. Moving on, we're going to talk about fat. Fat is one of our most commonly missed nutrient things that we've had this like low-fat diet for the last 50 years, but we look at Americans' waistlines and how's that working, right? It's not, right? In fact, you can still see the low-fat sour cream, cottage cheese, all that kind of stuff, low-fat skim milk, blah, blah, blah. It's the stuff that I was raised on as well, but the big thing that we've done in our regular workshops is we kind of have everyone look at their neighbor and say, you've been lied to. You've been lied to. Because the reality is fat is essential, healthy fat, that is. And so when we talk about every single cell, 76 trillion cells that make up our body, from our eyeballs to our skin to our tongue to you name it, heart cells, everything is composed of a lipid bilayer. And when I say lipid, I mean fat. So fat is essential. So it builds our cell membranes. Vitamins A, D, E, and K, those are your fat-soluble vitamins. And so for your body to absorb those vitamins, we need fat, right? And so when you're taking our vitamin D, whether it be, getting out in the sun, or maybe you take a little capsule every morning, 5 to 10,000 IUs, you want to consume that with fat, maybe coconut milk, maybe eggs, so that way your body's able to absorb it better. Cushions your vital organs, right? And so all the bouncing around that we do, there is some necessary fat that's around those vital organs. Obviously, extreme temperatures lowers inflammation, the right fat. So I'm talking things like healthy omega fish oil, right? Actually can reduce your level of inflammation. We know that people have had brain injuries. Not only are we replacing and adding new good healthy fats, but we can actually reduce the inflammation of the brain by consuming high doses of super high quality fats. Which brings it up to the point over here, 70% of brain tissue is fat. So yes, you are a fat head. So here's a quick diagram of an actual cell membrane. If you look at this, this is that lipid bilayer. And so this is, good fat is essential for making every single one of our cells to let the nutrients out, to get the stuff and all the waste products to escape out of each cell. We need a healthy lipid bilayer. We've done different experiments and done different demonstrations where we've wrapped a person in saran wrap. And you can imagine very quickly your temperature heats up, you're not able to respirate, and the toxins build up. That's exactly what happens when you consume bad fats and your body is making cells out of bad fats. Those cells are not able to respirate. They're not able to remove and eliminate their toxins. They're not able to get the nutrients and the good stuff in, and your cells become toxic. Toxic cells eventually can lead you down the road of the big C, cancer. So I want to go over some good fats versus bad fats. And so bad fats, we're talking anything that's like a vegetable oil, right? You can imagine how much pressing, squeezing, processing do you have to do to get oil out of something like a grape or corn, right? Probably a lot of pressing, right? And so not a great way to do it. Soybean oil, right? And then of course, my favorite one is the rapeseed oil, right? AKA canola oil, Canada oil, low acid. It's from a rapeseed, not very easily marketable. It's something you absolutely want to avoid. I don't know why Whole Foods is still using it. And so every, shelf life product out there that's coming in a box. You'll probably find some of these oils. That's why you want to avoid them. I'm not gonna pick on them too much, but your Girl Scout cookies, if you look at that box, not healthy ingredients, a lot of bad fats. It's one of the reasons why they're not the best for you. They are comfort food, I know, I get it. Good fats. This is the good stuff right here, right? So extra virgin olive oil, you want a clean source of that. My favorite, avocados, avocado oil. These are still ones I wouldn't do super high, except when we get to coconut oil. Coconut oil is one that you can actually heat up. That's one that I like to use for eggs or for maybe pan frying something. Real raw nuts, seeds, and oils. And then one of my favorite I've been using a lot more lately is real butter. I don't have the same effect. I don't do much dairy in our house, but when it comes to real butter, I enjoy the flavor, and it's something it's a good healthy fat when it comes from a good source. So grass-fed cows, so a healthy source of that dairy going into making the butter, that's the best choice for that. And of course your meat, eggs, and poultry, making sure that they're free range. You are what you eat eats, right? And so making sure you're getting a good source of that, and of course fatty fish. So many people know me. I go to bed pretty early, and so if I'm at the office late, one of my favorite snacks before bedtime or dinner practically is sardines. And so sardines, a great healthy source of fat. They're good for you. I'd highly recommend it. So again, we talked about that cellular congestion or respiration. You can't get the good stuff into the cell or the bad stuff out. It's why we need healthy fat. So I'm going to encourage you, eat more fat.
Hello all, Dr. B here, Wellness Key Chiropractic. Wanted to talk a little bit about traction today. If you've been in our office, you've seen these guys hanging on the wall. This is one form of traction that we will have you do in the office from time to time. So we come over here. To be sanitary, we grab one of these papers here, and we'll use this in a sec. So this goes like so, this part behind the head, okay? And this part under the chin, we take this, put it like so, like that. Now we're gonna pull this up. There we go. Here's what we want here. Feet up against the wall here, up against the little toe jam there. Maybe a little bit higher, we can pull this down. So chin is just slightly elevated, just like we have you on the vibes here. We want our feet a little more than shoulder width apart. Hands grabbing the handles here. And we're just gonna keep our elbows also up against the wall. Make sure we're leaning towards the wall so we're not leaning backwards. None of this, none of this. Okay, the rope is straight because we're getting straight traction. And then we're just doing 15 of these, 5 pounds of pressure, 15, 30 of them, building up to 100 eventually. So spending just a couple minutes on this and just getting 5 pounds of pressure. We're not hanging from it. We're not doing any Tarzan rope swinging, okay? This is very gentle traction. That's why we do such a high repetition, 15 the first time, maybe 30 the second time, 45, just building up to 100 to really get some great traction in that neck, in the cervical spine. Dr. B here, we'll see you at Wellness Key.
Hey guys, I just want to make sure that we're getting the most out of your care here in the office and getting the best possible results. I want to go over new exercises that I would like you to start doing on the Vibe after we've requested you to do them. First one we're going to start with today is the one-legged stand. So on the Vibe, we're going to make sure that your leg is extended. You're going to be activating the glute. The pelvis is level, shoulders are level, tummy's tight, and eyes are still above and looking above the horizon. This is going to help stabilize and strengthen the spine, the core, so again, you can hold the adjustment longer. Longer you hold the adjustment, the better results that you'll get. Hey guys, Dr. Utash here, Wellness Key Chiropractic. Here's a tip to speed up your recovery, especially if you're traveling. You get to the hotel, it's filled with pillows. Those are not going to help you. Remove those, put them to the side. Grab a couple of hand towels. One for your neck and one for your back. You're going to roll them up to about 2.5 to 3 inches in diameter. One for the curve of your neck and one for the curve of your back. Sit at the edge of your bed. Do those wobble exercises. And then hop up on those rolls. That's gonna help you recover faster and take the stress off your nervous system.